What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 207, and we start today's episode off with a game against Derby County here, away from home. Now, taking on Derby, currently in the Premier League, they are sitting in the relegation zone, with us top of the table, and our last game being a massive 4-1 victory against Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. We were definitely fancying our chances, but it is worth noting that our last away game in all competitions was against Porto, and we lost by 2-1. So even though we were definitely fancying our chances, and we were going to be the favourites coming into this game, there was still a little bit of, I guess, just a bit of security as I approached this game. I wasn't going to be going all guns blazing like I did against Liverpool, knowing that playing away from home I could get caught on the break, and Derby are actually featuring a striker called Rojas, who is currently on loan from us. But the first chance did fall to us in the 12th minute as we passed out from a goal kick, and Danny Welbeck finds Niang down his left hand side, and despite Christie almost winning the ball, Niang wins it back off him, cuts inside, gets inside to the area, takes a blanco hop and finds the back of the net as well, and it's a really nice goal by Niang. And as I mentioned many times before, he's my boy, he's the cult hero of the series, he's just incredible. You know, he really is incredible. He's such an awesome player, and he's so agile, he's got such great balance, but he's got such a great finish on him as well. And even when his finishing stat was really low back in the West Bromwich Albion days, he was still scoring 20+ goals a season, and that was now his 20th goal of the season in the Premier League. So it just goes to show, you know, even from humble beginnings, we knew how much potential Niang has, and he's showing it right now. So Derby 0, Arsenal 1, Niang with another goal to his collection. And another great chance here is Joel Campbell goes down his left hand side, double step over around his man, plays it back towards Danny Welbeck on the edge of the area, he comes inside and shoots and finds the back of the net and makes it Derby 0, Arsenal 2. So 2 goals up, first Niang, then Welbeck, 2-0 up inside 20 minutes of the game. Looked as good as done, to be honest, no disrespect to Derby, but I couldn't see him getting back into the game. And that goal also allowed me to sort of take the brakes off a little bit and start to attack more and more and throw more bodies forward. You know, once I get the first or second goals against the club, even if I am playing a bit more defensive than usual, I feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more at ease, and I'm fine attacking and pulling more bodies forward. Welbeck went close there in the 24th minute, his shot hitting the post and getting cleared away by Derby County. And in the 28th minute, another great chance, Joel Campbell goes down the left hand side, swings it across, looks for Niang, picks him out, but it's a great save by the goalkeeper, and he turns it behind for a corner. So still 2-0 to Arsenal, and to be honest, for the entire first half it was all Arsenal. You know, I did approach the game with caution, admittedly so, but as soon as we got the opening couple of goals, it was just really easy. Niang went very close there with his free kick, Jones just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. And as for Derby, they'd barely really been in our own half for the entire first half of the first half, but from the goal kick it's played forward here, Hendrick ends up flicking the ball on, it comes to Rojas, who's currently on loan from us, he plays it to McNamee, who finds Bertrand going through one-on-one with Chris Ince, and Ince has to make the save before Mario Williams gets it away. So they did have a chance there, but to be honest it was pretty much their only chance of the first half. And in the 45th minute, a bit of sad news for us, Danny Welbeck does get an injury, and as you'll see, he's going to be out for a few days. You'll see confirmation of the injury after this, but the injury was actually like, I mean, I was sad, don't get me wrong, that Danny Welbeck got an injury, but I was mesmerised by the way he sort of flipped in the air. It was crazy. Watch this back in slow motion, look at him go. That's crazy. I mean, you know, it's crazy he gets an injury, and I'm talking about the flip he did, but even so, Welbeck will be out for a few days. It's not a big deal, but even so, never nice to see. But we did make it 3-0 on the stroke of half time, Niang getting another goal to his collection, heading in a corner from the left hand side and making it 3-0. And it was just such a routine game, because other than that one chance Derby had, which Ince had to make a save for, it was really comfortable for us to just keep on going and keep on attacking and probably score more goals every time we went forward. That's what we looked like doing, to be honest. And Lazari went close there, this header being well saved by the goalkeeper, who, if it wasn't for him, Derby would have been 5 or 6 goals down at this stage. As you can see from the corner, across the ball in, and Mario Williams' header goes over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So still Derby 0, Arsenal 3, but yeah, it was a routine game, and we expected as much, to be honest. We're the league's highest scorers, we're scoring at will in pretty much every single league game right now, looking unstoppable, and Derby is sitting in the relegation zone. We did fancy our chances, but it was just a really great performance. It was one of those games where you just feel like you know exactly what to do every single time you have possession of the ball, and that was another incident there as Lazari does make it 4-0. As the ball came to Vargas, it was just like, I knew exactly what to do. I was so in sync with the AI teammates making the runs as well. Watch Lazari run around the back here, I knew where he was going, just played it through to him, through the gap. Lazari has the simplest of finishes. I knew exactly what I was doing. 4-0 to Arsenal, a routine victory, and it's secured there, but we would make it 5-0 in the 85th minute. How about this for a goal? Odibajo goes through here, I stop the ball, try and be a little bit fancy, the goalkeeper saves it, it goes up in the air, it's not cleared off the line, it does actually roll out of the goal, but it did cross the line, because as you'll see, Odibajo, who came off the bench, does make it 5-0. continues his very impressive goal scoring record for us so far. We got to see a goal decision system, and I think this is the first time I've ever seen a goal decision system which is actually being given as a goal, which is really cool. I mean, obviously we knew it was a goal already because it was pretty obvious the ball across the line and Odibajo was celebrating, but even so, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen a goal decision system where the goal's being given. I've seen it done for goals which haven't been given, but not for goals that have been given, so I thought that was kind of cool. But even so, the goalkeeper there, he was actually playing alright despite conceding 4 goals. But he should have done better, and it couldn't have been cleared off the line in the end. So final score, Derby County 0, Arsenal 5. A whopping victory for us. 9 goals scored in 2 games, and you know, the emphasis this year has been how impressive our attack has been, and that game showed it right there. And again, I know Derby are in a relegation zone, I know we're in really good form right now, we expected to win the game, but even so, what a fantastic performance, and everything worked well in that game. Nothing seemed to go wrong. Still following that, we had a scout report from our scout currently based in England. I think we actually signed one of those players and rejected a few, and also continued the scouting on some others as well. And we also saw the Arsenal board came to us and said, you know, you're doing a great job and everything's going well and we're pleased for you and everything, as we get that email every now and then. And also we saw a player did get injured as well. Danny Welbeck will be out for 8 days with a bruised elbow, and it's not a big deal. He'll miss 1 or possibly 2 games at most, and we can live without him. Also, the board came to us to let us know that we are at risk of losing a player in January on the pre-contract ruling. Josh Vickers, the goalkeeper, can leave the club if he wants. He's the 4th choice goalkeeper here. We don't need him. He's been on the transfer list since day 1, so I wasn't really fussed. So there you go. I will take on QPR for the second of 3 games in today's episode here as we travel to Loftus Road to take on Queen's Park Rangers. And coming into this game, 2 wins out of 2 in the Barclays Premier League, and looking very strong. It was going to take a very mean defence if QPR were going to stop us from scoring and claim a result from this game. So we definitely fancied our chances. There were a couple of changes due to fitness reasons, but for the most part a very strong team. And the first chance, as you expect, did fall to us in the 13th minute. Rodrigo Lazari's header on the end of this Mesut Ozil corner was met by a great save by McCarthy and turned behind. So very good save there. And in the 26th minute, Ozil finds Ryo Miyaichi. The Japanese winger picks out Aaron Ramsey, and again McCarthy makes a great save and Sanchez can't poke in the rebound. So still QPR 0, Arsenal 0, and that was it for the first half. I said QPR would need a mean defence to stop us, and they were playing pretty well defensively. You know, we didn't get inside too many times, and whenever we did, McCarthy was making good saves. So still 0-0. And from the kickoff in the second half, we did come forward here with Niang going through one-on-one, and McCarthy again makes another great save, then denies Lazari with another great save, and then denies Niang with another great save. So a fantastic triple stop by Alex McCarthy, and he was showing exactly why QPR was still goalless in this game. And again, he makes a great save here to deny Laurent Koscielny. So we kept on putting the shots in, we kept on putting the attempts on goal, but McCarthy just kept on making the saves. So still 0-0. And just past the Almac here, Sanchez plays a great ball inside towards Niang, who does go through one-on-one with McCarthy, and finally the resistance is broken. McCarthy is beaten, and we make it QPR 0, Arsenal 1. And it was a long time coming, but you had to feel sorry for McCarthy, man, because the amount of saves this guy was making in the game was absolutely crazy. Most of our attempts were on target, and whenever they were, McCarthy was equal to them. But for this part, the QPR defence, I don't know what happened to Stephen Corker and his centre-back partner, but there was no defensive line whatsoever. And as soon as Sanchez played him through, look at him right there, there's no line, there's no organisation. Niang goes through one-on-one, and well, by Niang's got 22 goals now, it was pretty clear he wasn't going to miss there. So QPR 0, Arsenal 1, we're surely going to win the game. But QPR did have one final attack here, which Chris Ince made a save from. I think it was Leroy Fur's header, which was well saved by the goalkeeper and turned behind for a corner. And it was how the game would finish. So QPR 0, Arsenal 1, we do get another 3 points. Didn't score more than once, which is a bit of a shame considering how good our attack's been this season, but that's a testament to McCarthy really, and how well he played. And I felt like we deserved the win, to be honest, despite the fact we only won by 1 goal. But how about this? Alexis Sanchez says he would like to leave the club. If you want to read this email, feel free to do so. He says he wants to leave. He gives us this email on Boxing Day. I don't know whether his missus overcooked the roast or something the previous day, but even so, he says he wants to leave the club. He says he's homesick, and a transfer request has been handed in by Alexis Sanchez. And as you'll see, I can't offer him a contract. He wants to leave. I can't disallow transfer bids. He wants to leave the club, and there's nothing I can do about it. So basically, whenever this happens, the board will come to you and they'll either say that we're going to negotiate a deal with a club and he'll leave the club, or you can make the final decision. But it looks pretty certain that Sanchez is going to be leaving the club. But the interesting thing is that he says he's homesick. Now, I don't know where he's going to go, but he's been living in England for several seasons now, several years. If he's going to leave anywhere, you'd predict he's going to go back to Chile. An 89 rated winger, still 32 years old, still has quite a few good years in him. Is he going to go back to his home country? I'm not too sure. If he leaves to another European country and a big team, you know, if he leaves to Chelsea, for example, I'm going to be pretty livid. But even so, Sanchez is probably going to leave the club. We'll have to wait and see what the board say in the next episode. I'm pretty goddamn annoyed about it, to be honest, but there's nothing really I can do right now. He says he wants to leave the club, and we'll just have to leave up to the board, and hopefully they will let us try and negotiate a new deal with him. And we take on Sunderland for the third and final game of today's episode here as they travel to take us on at the Emirates Stadium. Not much happened in the first half other than that shot by Lacadia which went into the side netting, but 3 minutes after the restart, Cabral wins a penalty for Sunderland off Ryan Sarr, and I don't know why this is a penalty, because there's slight contact between Cabral and Ryan Sarr, but the ball is still at the feet of the Sunderland player. There's barely any contact, let's be honest. Let's be fair to me here. There's barely any contact. I don't know. Is that a penalty? I mean, I don't think that's a penalty. If penalties are given like that, you know, every single game, then there'll be about 5 a game, because that was just atrocious refereeing in my decision. I would never have given that a penalty in a million years, but it was given, said the referee, and the penalty was scored as well. It went straight down the middle as Christian dived to his left-hand side, and again, maybe some of you are watching that and thinking, oh, I would have given a penalty for that, but I think that would have been the softest penalty award in a very long time. Still, it was given, and Sunderland scored the penalty. So I was pretty livid about it, to be honest, to go down 1-0 to a penalty like that. And yes, I wasn't playing very well, but even so, very frustrating indeed. And to be honest, it did look like we were going to have our first home defeat in the league this season, because I just wasn't playing well at all, and I couldn't get anything sorted. It took guess who and Bai Niang to score the late goal for us and rescue us with 2 minutes to go. It was a really poor game, but I fed Niang through. He went past the last defender and smashed it past Pantilimon and made it 1-1. And again, this guy, man, seriously, whenever I need a goal, I always look for him. He gets his 23rd goal in the Premier League this season, and he does rescue us a point. Because it was how the game would finish. A frustrating game, a frustrating episode, to be fair, but even so, we'll have to try and bounce back in the next episode, and we'll see what happens with Alexis Sanchez as well. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.